Now it's time to take a look at creating pages in a website. Now we actually have, as you'll see here, one page. We just created a post and of course a new category. Now it's time to upgrade this by creating a brand new page. So click on Page, Add Pages, and you'll see the page that's there right now. If I jump back to the regular website, you'll discover that sample page is here, and of course the home page, which has our blogs on it. So we're going to create a new page, add a page. I strongly recommend that you think ahead. What do you want? Take a look at what the competition has and think about how you want to structure your pages. You can nest pages inside, and we'll do that as well. So I'm going to give it a title. I'm going to call this Tutorials. And this is what will appear on my menu. And then I want to put something in here. Now, unlike a blog, this is a page that will display specific information. So I'm just simply going to throw something in here for kicks. And I'm going to throw in this title. Now this time the title is different from the title above. This is the actual tab on the page, and this is the actual comment on the page. So let's just put some content in here as well, and I happen to have some available. There we go. We're just going to copy that from Word and plug it in here. Fantastic, and there's my article. And now I'm just going to change this so it's a title, and it'll come up here to paragraph, and I'm going to make it a heading number 1. That's kind of big. Let's make it a heading number 2. That's a little bit better. And while I do that, I'm also going to change the color of it, and I'll make it a kind of, let's say, a deep blue. How's that sound? Neat stuff. There you go, darker blue. And I'm just simply going to publish it. And believe it or not, that's as quick as it is to create a new page, but you do have to think ahead. So let's visit the website, and we're going to refresh it. And there we go, tutorials. If I click on it, I now see the content that was inside that page. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is called a breadcrumb. It allows people to see how they got to that particular page. And of course you also see this. This can be removed, and we can remove that by going in and checking the actual web page and removing the title. So let's take a look at what's possible here. What if I wanted to have pages within pages? In other words, this was an introduction to tutorials, and inside of it I'd have links that take me to newer pages. So inside a tutorial, I want to have tutorial 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go back here again. I'm going to create a new page. Here's my new page. I'm going to call this part 1. I could have called it tutorial 1. Okay, and I'm just going to say this is part 1. And just for kicks, I'm going to highlight it, copy it so I don't have to type it in again. And I'm going to save this, but this time I'm going to say it is inside of, so it has a parent. And its parent happens to be tutorials. So this means it will become a sub-menu item inside of tutorials. I'm going to publish that. Now the order that you see here means that this is the order you will see it in. And I'll show you that in a second. We're going to change this now to part 2. Change this to part 2. There we go. And I'm going to update. Oops, I think I screwed up. I should have said new. Let's go back and just change that back again very quickly. Come on. There you go. Number 1. Back to number 1. Update that again. Phenomenal. And now I'm going to add new again. Okay, and we're going to call this part 2. And I'm again going to put that in here, and I'm just going to change the 1 into a 2. There we go. I'm going to publish that. Now you notice I made a slight mistake here. I forgot to change where it went. So I'm going to change that now. I'm going to update it. You can always change things on the fly. So once again, I'm going to put it into tutorial. And you also notice that indented, which means inside of tutorial, I could have actually had it inside of part 1. But I'm going to put it inside of tutorials. Update. Fantastic. So now let's take a look at our website again. We're going to come back up here to the home. So it's refreshed. Inside, you'll now notice that we have a part 1 and a part 2. So it's possible for you to actually have different menu items inside of different menu items, but they're nothing more than pages. So if I click on the page, I can now see that page. Making a page is that simple. It really is easy to do. As far as order is concerned, we'll just check that one item here as well. It says right now that tutorials is behind sample page. But what if, when I click on sample page, they've given us a sample here. There you go, that's a sample, and it shows you can do all kinds of things in here. But I'd like to move tutorials over to where sample page is. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on all pages. And I'm going to change sample page, so I'm going to edit. And I'm going to change its order to number 2. Now I could have put 1, but I may want to put something in between tutorial and sample page. It's updated. Let's go back in here. We'll refresh. And you now notice that they've been reversed. So you have a lot of control. The only key thing here for you to remember is that you must think ahead. What do I want to accomplish? What structure do I want to create? Once you've done that, you'll find it's very easy to actually build these pages up. And just as a last item, I'm going to come back in here to tutorial. There's my tutorial. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to put an image in there. So just for kicks, I'm going to put a big image right in here, and I think I will drag something across to it, and I have a rather large picture, and we'll just grab this one here. Oops, let's just click, drag across. There's my image. I can change the name if I want. Remember all these different elements. And I like the size of it, so I will click insert. There's my image. I'm going to update it again. I'm going to take another look at the website. Remember, you can tweak this all you want. Go back to the main page. Click on tutorial. And there is my tutorial page. Neat stuff. Piece of cake. Now, next video we're going to talk about removing and choosing what we want in the widget area. Because oddly enough, you do not have to have this widget here. You could have your page right the way across.